everybody, G-Force41 here with another PGA Tour 2K25 course playthrough video for you. I've been away for a while, in fact so long that I haven't even put out a video for my own damn course. So this is Hraunvik Golfvollur. It is an Icelandic course set, as you can see, kind of in a little bay scene. And we'll talk more about how I did it and what I did, but let's take a quick look. So what I did here is really just a stream of consciousness course. It was really fun to do this one. And I wanted to just kind of make use of the new tools, the new sand. So, yeah, the terrain painting. And I used a lot of terrain painting, actually. I didn't use a ton of surface weathering, I don't believe. But what I was going for was kind of that rocky texture you see off there in between 1 and 2 and 3. You see those hills and the rocks and everything? Well, I just saw a picture of an Icelandic golf course, and I also wanted to use the new Fjordlands theme. And it's basically lava rocks, right? That's what the name means, lava bay or something like that. And so I used a kind of blend of textures you'll see on those rocky kind of slopes, okay? So that's what I did. So it goes in and out. There's lots of water. It's fun. And honestly, this is old-fashioned. Just put down a plot and find 18 holes. That's what I did. And, you know, there's no designer in mind. It wasn't a Ross. It's not a, you know, any model that any designer. I just used all sorts of imagination. There's a couple templates in there. And just fun. It's more linksy than anything, right? So I put some pot bunkers in to give it a nice look and feel. Winds are southeast and medium. And it's a pretty healthy medium wind. So with that little slope, you see, and I put some subtle slopes in there. This is the 4-hole location. So we'll go a little like this. Those newer trees, those newer pines off on the left, you can see. And the rocks just blend in with the background. So I was just playing around with this Fjordlands theme. Nice, quiet, relaxing, round greens. I got them rolling 176. They're not too crazy. And there you go. Simple first hole. A little right to left, left to right. So I guess that was a little switchbacky. Had some fun with the cameras. Took me a while to come up with all these textures. But here you see the rough, rugged terrain. And there's a little inlet that comes in here in the front. And there you just see the sculpting. I'm sorry, not the sculpting, the terrain painting. Just some kind of waste bunkers going all along it. And then regular bunkers. And I just, you know, played off each. Some have the waste, some have the regular. Some have both, and whatever made sense. So that was it. I was just having fun with it, you know? To me, this is the funnest way to design. I literally just said, all right, maybe there's a hole here, maybe there's a hole here, put it in, and then used all the kind of knowledge and technique I have of golf design, architecture to make the holes fun, interesting, very playable. So you could probably speed these greens up and definitely crank up the wind. You can firm it up. You know, I'm not one of these people who makes the courts very firm or ultra firm or whatever. Pretty scene there, yeah. Great for a tournament or a match. That's it. I was just noodling around looking to do something different. This one, you got a little force carry. Not a big deal in this game. In real life, that'd be crazy. It's just a narrows concept. Short little hole, but it's an elevated approach. And you got to squeak one in there. So, yeah, you can hit driver, but you got a thin neck. So sometimes you're better off going 3-wood with the winds behind you. But here, you might run out of room. So just hit that little choke tee shot. I'm pretty good at these little choke shots. And I just want that, you know, natural look to it. Organic was the word Chelsea Satan used to always use for my courses. 16 feet up. You got to give it some juice. Because you're going into the wind and uphill. Just fit those bunkers in where they may. If you ever watch my how-to videos. Hopefully I'm following my own advice. Be back with some quick tips soon. Finishing up Cuyahoga Downs, port over, and I don't just point and publish, folks. I make it better, spend some time on it. I like that green a lot. Love the way that came out. We'll be there in a couple of holes. Alright, I just had fun with this one. Now, I know most people are just not going to use the fairway. They're going right for this green. But I put the spline down and the waypoint down on the fairway just in case you want to take it easy. But it's a fun little shot, actually, from the fairway. But most of you are going to go for it. But I did make it. Now, look, I got the wind behind me. That driver's going to be too much. So there's just a little neck to go through here. There's a bump. Right, so you can navigate it. You can hit 3-wood. I don't know, actually, what is 3-wood going to do here? Yeah, well, with the 10 mile an hour, and it's 20 feet down, too. Right, so you're hitting downhill. So it makes it a little bit of challenge on the club selection. Just pull it back a little. Because of the wind. But that's really the challenge here, figuring out how you're going to get to that green and make it stop. If you're playing on, I do pro swing, so it's not that much of a risk. Playing at a higher difficulty will bring the risk reward in a little bit more, and certainly in real life, I would never dream of going for this green. I probably couldn't carry it that far. Actually, no, I couldn't. I can't carry it 250. I can hit it about 260, but that means I carry it about 240. 230 if I'm lucky. Alright, moving along. Had some fun with the slopes and the contours here. This one's just curving around. It's slightly capish, not really, but I guess got a series of waste bunkers down the left side. You got some water off on the right. Again, in this game, it's not going to play too difficult. But again, if you're somebody in real life who blocks it right or slices or both, this hole might put the fear of God into you. So this actually is more of just a classic Alps hole. And so if I'd actually hit the fairway, you can't see the green because there's a big Sahara bunker, as they call it on an Alps hole, in the way. But if you hit it over here into these traps, you do have a little bit of an angle, but you don't have the lie. So just slight strategery. And this isn't quite punch bowly. It's a little punch bowly, but this all moves. If you know anything about an Alps hole, it should be a punch bowly type green over the hill and Sahara bunker. Beauty. Cyberjack likes it. Way to go, Cyberjack. He's got some summer attire going right now. Hope your summer's going well. Here's the 6th hole in the green I was mentioning. So this is a pretty little scene, right? You've got the lighthouse out there. I threw a boat out there. Why not a dock to make it realistic? And it's basically a little bit of an infinity green concept, right? Even though there's big mountains behind you. But I just love the setting. How to put a green there and make it a little hole. So it's a little bit of an Eden hole, not really. And I got some neat little contours in this green, so there's some interesting hole locations. Okay, so we got the wind going across. And again, it's just the fine touch. So if you really play this on a higher setting, or a more difficult setting, I should say, firm it up, put some wind in, it's going to be interesting because there's just some subtlety to it. Nothing dramatic as far as, doomsday holes. Subtle little challenges. There's the clubhouse and the 1st and 10th tees together. Thought that looked nice. And there's a little starter shed. Little practice green right by the starter shed. All right. Caddy's talking it over at Cyberjack. This was a fun and interesting hole. This is hole 7, and you've seen this on the bunker video. If you watch my bunkers video, this is where I was giving you some tips on bunkers. This hole was a work in progress. So again, like I said, this was just stream of consciousness, man. I knew I needed a hole here to turn around and go back to the clubhouse, but I wasn't sure if it should go this way. And I said, well, that's really close to the other hole, tee box. You can see right there. And then so I said, put the fairway over here. But I said, why wouldn't anybody just want to go that way? So I made this bit of a forced carry up the hill. 12 feet up a hill, and the wind's with us, so it's probably worth going for. But that's a pretty steep bunker hill lip right there. You're going to run into it if you're short. If not, you just play it safe and go over here, but you don't have the world's greatest angle into the green. So, little decision. What do I want to show you? 12 feet up, 11 miles an hour. Let's go for it. Why not? Not bad, but as you see, it's up the hill, and that's a pretty steep lip of the bunker, and you're bleeped. Okay, so now what happens is you can't, right? You can't go down. It's 157. Well, you want to hit 190 in, basically, even one whatever. You can't do it. Okay, so there's the risk that I put in. So keep that one in mind. So you're going to have to clear this any way, shape, or form that you can. Actually, going over here isn't a bad idea. Can we get one more club in there? I think we can. Simple little layup. So there you go. So like I said, subtle risk reward. End of the world? No. But you're not going to be able to go for the green. Maybe I'm going to do a lob. I've been trying to use this lob more. See what it does. Ah, what happened there? That was weird. So making a bit of a mess of the hole. I got a 15-footer for bogey. And that's going to be a double. So there you go. So the horse can bite you in the, the course can bite you in the you-know-what. If you're not careful. If you play it a little too boldly. 8. Interesting one. I needed a par 5, so this is going up the hill. The key here is to get it up this damn hill. So if you've got this is I suggest the prevailing wind, southeast. We're giving you a break here. You need that wind to get up the hill. If you don't have that and that wind's in your face, you've got big trouble. You're probably not making it in 2. And if you pull it into the gunk like I just did, you're not making it in 2. So there you see the mixture of the terrain painting stones I used, and I used the soil and the rock and the bedrock, and I combined them, and then a little bit of the grass. So I used all 3 of the terrain paintings as a blend. Okay, the natural grass area, I should say. So there's bedrock, dirt, and the natural grass area all blended. Right, and it took me a while to come up with my recipe. And I don't remember what it is, honestly, off the top of my head. But I know I tried about 5 or 6 different combinations. I went through every one of them. It took me forever. But it was fun. So now you see I can't get there. But I think it blends in with the background nice. So I think it looks nice and natural with what's going on in the hills behind the course. And where's the wind when you need it? I just like the way the bunkers kind of work with some of their more natural area bunkers and some the more refined, simple shapes. I don't know. I liked it. You tell me. Leave me the comments. And 9. I like this one. A little decision here. You got a nice bed of lava rocks there. And so you got to go around it. You can go either way. This is a little narrower and it runs out. You got more room and more length over here. And you're going to have the angle in. So it depends on where that hole is. This location, you can you can go over here and in, because that little hill will trickle the ball down. So you've got a little bit more room than you think, or you can go straight at it. But with this 11-mile-an-hour wind, I'm going to go in this one because I'll run out of room on this one most likely. So let's see what happens here. And the winds go, ooh, the wind could take it into the rocks. Yep. So we're in the crap here, so this is going to be interesting. Am I going to be able to get it out? Yeah, this should be okay. Actually, we're just going to do this, right? And bounce and roll. Should take it right in there. Oh, it checked up right there. That was interesting. I don't think out of that lie it was going to check up. Thought it was going to be perfect. All right, still makeable. And that is not going to make it. It's going to be a ball outside. Okay. So that's the front. One over. We'll make it up there. I love this hole coming up. That's 11 or 12. 12. Sorry, it's been a while since I put it out. I've been quite busy. Starting a new business. Doing things like that. I have a podcast, a real life podcast, as I have mentioned before. Your Customer, Your Success. Real business podcast focused on strategic business growth, leadership, strategy, entrepreneurship. It's very entrepreneurial. Great stuff. Great guests. I have guests. It's not just me talking. It's more interesting than that. Occasionally I'll do a solo. Love this green and this setting. This is the thumbnail I put out there for the course in the game. And yeah, just kind of one of these entrance screens, I call it, up the hill. Waste area in front. Some bushes separating one of the later holes from this. So yeah, check it out, please. And please subscribe to that as well. I need subscribers, even though it's doing very well. Could always use more subscribers there. I have about 70, but I've got, 50, 60,000 views because I put out a lot of shorts, which are great quick tips for you, by the way. Not talking about golf quick tips. Yeah. So it's right here. It's a YouTube. If you actually are on this channel watching my YouTube, just go down below. I'm pointing down like you can see me. There's a link to it down below in all the episodes. And then the audio is available on any major platform. So wherever you listen to a podcast, Apple, Spotify, you name it. Okay. So I'd appreciate that. Check this one out. I love this because I don't put enough bumps and slopes in most of my fairways, and I'm sure that's a fair criticism of some of my courses. So this one was rocky, and I just threw it out there. Again, this is what I mean by the stream of consciousness. I just kind of had this rocky terrain, and I didn't flatten it too much because I think this is interesting. There's a shelf up here, or you can have it roll down in here somewhere. And again, it depends on where you want to come at it from. Let's see where this whole location is, actually, because I forget. This is the 4 location we're playing. And that one's kind of up front. So I don't know that you want to come at it from down in here. Right? Because that's probably an easier play right here. So you do want to stick to this shelf, but the wind is going that way, so it's going to be a tricky little shot. And if I miss, it's not the end of the world. It's just going to trickle down. The other risk is, right, you're going to go through, which isn't the end of the world either, but you're just coming out of the rough. So again, it's all this kind of little subtle stuff that's in this course. It's just why I like it. It's not overly dramatic. I feel like sometimes people try to make the course the most dramatically dramatic golf course in the history of golf. And it just seems forced and doesn't work. And that's going to trickle in, right? Because this slopes down, goes towards the water. Oh, that trickles a lot more than I thought. And if you look at it, it's not that steep. It's fairly steep, but it is moving. Actually, that's the top corner, top right. It does go down significantly. Get on up there. Almost. Cyberjack thought he had it. All right, I'm going to 12. This is an interesting one. I really like this. Oh, I'm sorry. This is the par 3, 12. If this is a unique one. Again, and I needed a bridge, right? Literally and figuratively, I need a bridge. But I needed a par 3 to link over to the next section of the course and come back and utilize this kind of island area I had just by kind of the sculpting I was doing. So a really long 3. This would be brutal in real life over the forced carry. But there is room to miss in front, so you'd have a crazy shot out of the junk. So again, I try to go for realism, right? It's not all forced carry, but you can wind up literally on the beach, right? We call the bunkers the beach. And these bunkers are literally the beach. All right, now we go to 13, another interesting one. So going back across the water, all right, and to this kind of final leg section of the course. And this one is interesting. I kind of had this little inlet that looks like it can naturally be just an area of drainage that cut through. And yeah, you'll roll right into, excuse me, with the wind at your back. Now there is a little section you could go off to the side there if you like, or you could lay back with the 3-wood. So again, it's all about selection. This is really tricky to navigate, and since I'm going to just try to throw it here and see if it does, with my fade, go up towards that little section. But more often than not, I throw it in there. Yep. And people are going to get really frustrated with this hole. So really the play is probably a 3-wood. Unless you're really, really going to thread the needle. But it's all in fun. It's not that bad of a bunker. And I love that little waist bunker. That was in the video too. That little rectangle waist bunker. And that long kind of inlet bunker was in there too. I had to flatten it, if you remember that video. So I flattened it a little. And that was a bad chip. So again, what should be a simple hole is a bogey. Par 5. Love this one. The old-fashioned centerline bunker. You got 2 ways to go. You can go out here, and there you see off in the distance some more of that rock formation, and that's the lava rock. Or you can scoot it down here, which is a little bit better angle into the green. There's just less room. And with that hole location, I'm going to go the shortcut. So again, just found a hole that seemed to work. Wasn't trying to do anything. 9-mile-an-hour wind. Are we gonna do that? That could be good. Kick it right. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. That was a hard bounce, though. And it's still going. All right. Well, that'll help you get it to the back, that slope, but just missed a little. You do want to land that out front on the fairway. The slope kicked it, but a little too hard. Look at this, though. Nope, it's going to be low. Okay. Cyberjack wanted it. But we'll take the bird. 15. Little bit of a blind tee shot on purpose, right? Make sure those blind shots are on purpose. This makes sense. There's a little hill and a waist area. It adds to the ambiance and makes a simple little hole a little bit more interesting. If you imagine this in real life, it'd be a little fun, right? So where do you aim? Aim right at the right of the hill where we start to see the fairway or something like that. Here, again, there's a bit of a narrows concept here. You can go through the neck if you want, or just lay up with the 3-wood, which I'm going to do this time. Driver would really kind of, I'd call it, it's also a go into it hole. So if you hit driver, you're going to wind up way close with one of those kind of like 60-yard pitches. Where here you can just hit a nice full wedge in. Green is elevated, slopey. Almost jarred it. There you go. Nice little hill. And he saves a little bit of the surface weathering for a path to the next hole. You'll see those throughout. I'm just not highlighting them. And that wasn't a good putt. Too firm. Easy par, though. All right. Still be careful of the BTs, I call them, behind tee shots. Because I leave them in. You know, I don't do those cameras. I think the game does a good job of those. So I just do the lower thirds and the menu cameras. All right, the last par 3, 16. This is a little Eden-esque too. You got 2 waste bunkers fronting, 1 big one in the back, and a little pot bunker off to the side. Slopey green, downhill, 24. We're going to do a little of this action. And it's going to be a little right of the hole. And it just checks up. Not bad. Not bad. I need the bird, though. Let's go. Let me focus. He didn't hit it. Didn't hit it. Ugh. Tap in par. 2 holes to get back to even or under. Pretty little scene there. All right. So 17. Again, this is a hole you could see in real life. In this game, I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to go down in here. But most of us humans, normal human beings who are like 15 to 20 handicaps would probably go down here. But this, again, the risk is you can go through. You could thread the needle with these. You can even try, if you're a real big bomber, to go around this way. But that was the challenge here. Do you want to just hook it around here, fade it around there, go straight over the top for the most part? Or you really could just throw it here, especially if the wind's in your face. I don't think anybody with the wind at their back is going to do that. I'm just going up and around. And again, the risk is that you blow right through it, but that's going to be actually perfect. Oh, that is a hard bounce. Yee, boy. Designers should soften the fairways. Huh. All right. A little offset green, so I just play with the angles a lot of the greens instead of making them straight on all the time. And use the slope right there. There we go. And there's the bird. We're back at even. We can finish under par with the par 5 finishing hole. Again, another fun hole. Some force carry over the waist area. With the wind, you're going to blow right into that waist bunker there. But that's the better angle, right? In. Over here is easier. You got, whoops, I'm sorry. You've got more room. And hang on 1 second. All right, so you can go down here, but you have that kind of force carry to hurdle, literally and figuratively. So with the wind in my face, I can throw it out to the left. It's not even come close to getting there. So I got a bit of a better angle. And I don't know that I'm going to get there with the wind. We're going to give it a ride. Hope for the slope works a little. Worst case scenario, we have a chip. Oh, I blocked it. Bam. So now I have a pitch, not a chip. But this should be fine right here. Right? And you're only in trouble if you're really blocking it right. And again, you could see if this was a real course. This hole could be a nightmare. Alright, this to go under par in my own course. There it is. The bird to finish 1 under at Hraunvik Golfvollur. So if you haven't played it, get on out there. Give it a try. Let me know what you think about it. Put it in your societies, your tournaments, or having a match with your buddies. Very versatile course. Very fun. I loved making it. I hope you love playing it. And drop me lines. Tell me what you think. So that's all for today, folks. I promise you I will be back soon. Much sooner than I was last time with more PGA Tour, golf, design, course review videos, quick tips. Maybe even is it casuals worthy. That's all for today. Bye for now.